Chapter 14, Physics of Transformation Change. There are two basic systems of change we can do. Incremental change, making small shifts in different human behaviors or systems. These incremental changes can be endless. Incremental change. 1. Success patterns exploring possibilities for patterns or systems for change. Exploring to find patterns for success. 2. Extend and improve the patterns and systems for the change. Repeat the pattern over and over again. 3. The system reached its potential and also shows it's built on problems and is not open to new information, data, and feedback. Transformation theory change. Human beings have characteristics and attributes representative of sympathies, frailties, strengths, and by nature of their minds can process and evaluate their lives and many other things. They have a conscious existence and may perceive and conceive other things into a real existence. Humans, by their very nature, have transformed their actions and processes not only of our world, even DNA and many other living things. In order to transform, the key of the formula affecting transformation is function. Function is a literal operation that converts one thing into another. The components of changing function are transformation, 1. Deleting, 2. Inserting, 3. Permutation. Genetic modification happens in a bacteria by inserting DNA from another bacteria cell. Correspondence is the physics law governing this process of function. Integration is a process of unifying. Unity. Humans transform and integrate by nature, their inherent sense of right and wrong in accordance with and determined by their very nature. Permutation is a major and fundamental change, as in character or condition, based primarily on rearrangement of existent elements, changing by act or process the lineal order of an ordered set or arrangements of character or conditions. Transformative change is unpredictable about the way the system will be with transformative change. This is change on an identity level. Transformative change. 1. Success patterns exploring possibilities for patterns or systems for change. 2. Extend and improve the patterns and systems for change. This is usually a process of repetition of the success patterns or systems for change. 3. Success patterns, considering anomalies, problems built into the system of success from the start, taking in new information, data, and feedback for change. This is where the original success patterns or systems are taking in the anomalies now apparent from the first step of change patterns. Be open to feedback, new data, new information, and knowledge. Address anomalies, problems. Create a new success pattern which addresses the anomalies and go to step 2 again. Repeat, repeat, repeat pattern. Disorder is based upon these principles and laws: integration principles and models, reality principle, data processing sequences, submodalities. Examples: there are more than you can identify. Totality, nature, the inherent character or basic constitution of a person or thing, a creative and controlling force in the universe, an inner force and the sum of such forces in an individual, a kind and class distinguished by fundamental and essential characteristics, the origin of the natural condition. Element, structure, the action of building, arranged in a definite pattern of organization, the arrangement of particles and parts into a substance or body, organization of the parts as dominated by the general constitution and character of the whole, the aggregate of elements of an entity in their relationship to one another. Of relates to or being a method in which each step of the solution to the problem is contained in a separate sub-program. Element, pattern, a form or pattern proposed for imitation, a natural or chance configuration, a reliable sample of traits, acts, tendencies, and other observable characteristics, a discernible coherent system based on the intended interrelationship of component parts, frequent or widespread incidences. Element, processes, to progress, advance, ongoing, and proceed. Natural phenomenon marked by gradual changes that lead toward a particular result. A continual, natural, or biological activity or function. The prominent or projecting part of the structure. to subject to a special process, to subject or handle through an established routine set of procedures. Totality, linguistics. Element, symbolic, consisting of proceeding by meaning of symbols, of, relating to, or constituting on symbols. Element, energetic, energy and its transformations, the total energy relation and transformations of a physical, chemical, or biological system, to impact energy to act. Element, whole body, body movement, gestures and positions. The whole body corresponds and interrelates interdependently with what is being processed and communicated. Matrix of movement, meaning up or down, forward or backward, right or left. Pendulum theory of health. Chronic, acute, wisdom in the creative process. Health. You must go through the acute stage before you obtain health. Spaces between all components is synapse. Spirit is the element between the synapse. It surrounds all. Know thyself. Holographic human transformation theory. Based on the way we develop models, processes, beliefs, worldviews, through integration, concepts, principles, and models working together. Facts. 1. Humans are natural systems. 2. Humans are systems. 3. The human system is composed of elements and functions. System totalities are an entity or aggregation of elements and functions that form a complete whole or totality. Holographic learning system. Holographic health system. The structure of consciousness. Humans have 3 fields of consciousness. These together make the whole human. Each field of consciousness has 2 senses in it. Each sense has higher level or abstract conscious functions for conscious use as a whole: mental, emotional, physical. Consciousness of a personality field, the sum total of all the moments that represent our internal processings. Our field of consciousness is the realm of activity, region of space characterized by a physical property like gravitational force, where every part of the region has a determinable effect or value. Human consciousness and personality, information and processing systems are dimension and have specific location. The mind field. Thinks, reasons, reflects, logic, objective forms hierarchies, conscious center of our being. Holograms are whole systems. Totality. Humans are holograms. Human consciousness is holographic. Inner processing is a result of these models. Entropy cycles. A statistical disorder of energy. The entropy cycle is a measure of the unavailable energy in a closed system that is also usually considered to be a measure of the system's disorder. It is a property of the system state and will vary in direct regards to any reversible change in the system and in regards to the time factors of the disorder of the system's energy, which is unavailable and causing the disorder. The degradation of the matter and energy in the universe to the ultimate state of inert uniformity, the process of degradation or running down, or the natural trend to the disorder. Anomalies. Information that runs counter to the normal beliefs of the system. They are the defects already a part of the system from the beginning, and they stop the system from growth just based upon the natural order of time and future and disorder. Data processing sequence. 1. Reception, internal processing. 2. Storage, as models and memories. 3. Transmission, models and memories transmitted through our language and behaviors. A key way of attaining greater correspondence and being more open is to create ways to increase the flow of information throughout the entire system. Communication, transmit, receive, message. As human beings, the information comes into us through our human senses. Our human senses is the way we experience our lives. From our conscious experience through our human senses, we create models of our world. These models become our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, our beliefs, values, lifestyles, and circumstances. There are 2 basic systems of change we can do. Incremental change, making small shifts in different human behaviors or systems. These incremental changes can be endless. Life is limitless opportunity of incremental change. It's a natural process for our choice. Success patterns, exploring possibilities for patterns or systems for change. Exploring to find patterns for success. Extend and improve the patterns and systems for the change. Repeat the pattern over and over again. The system reached its potential and also shows its built-in problems and is not open to new information, data, and feedback. Transformation theory. Human beings have characteristics and attributes representative of sympathies, frailties, strengths, and by nature of their minds, can process and evaluate their lives and many other things. They have a conscious existence and may perceive and conceive other things into a real existence. Humans, by their very nature, have transformed their actions and processes not only of our world, even DNA and many other living things. In order to transform, the key of the formula affecting transformation is function. Function is a literal operation that converts one thing into another. The components of changing function are 1. Deleting, 2. Inserting, 3. Permutation. Genetic modification happens in a bacteria by inserting DNA from another bacteria cell. Correspondence is the physics law governing this process of function. Integration is a process of unifying, unity. Humans transform and integrate by nature, their inherent sense of right and wrong, in accordance with and determined by their very nature. Permutation is a major and fundamental change, as in character or condition, based primarily on rearrangement of existing elements. Changing by act or process, the lineal order of an ordered set or arrangements of character or conditions. Transformative change is unpredictable about the way the system will be with transformative change. This is change on an identity level. Transformative change, success patterns, exploring possibilities for patterns or systems for change. Extend and improve the patterns and systems for change. This is usually a process of repetition of the success patterns or systems for change. Success patterns and considering anomalies, problems built into the system of success from the start. Taking in new information, data, and feedback for change. This is where the original success patterns or systems are taking into anomalies now apparent from the first step of change patterns. Open to feedback, new data, new information and knowledge. Address anomalies, create new success patterns, which addresses the anomalies and remain open to new problems built into the system again. Repeat, 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 pattern. Helpless, hopeless, worthless are key words that the individual is no longer living in their own space, environment, the self. There's too much garbage in it to live there. The more we move toward the structure, space, environment, and self, the more effective we are. The more we move away from, deny, refuse, and repress, the more abstract we become, the less effective we become. So, to just think or talk about a problem doesn't help. We must deal with the model or structures of the problem, and we become more effective. The self. Humans, as individuals, are created to self-organize, to have unity, correspondence, similarities within the self. When these do not listen and respond to each other, there is deterioration. This happens on an individual basis, as well as in families, communities, countries, and the world. Once the system is in decline, it moves quickly to chaos, disorder. Chaos in physics is a form of disorder that is discontinuous and nonlinear, but not totally random disorder and degeneration. Stability, order, chaos, disorder. Randomness, total disorder. Between stability and chaos and randomness and chaos is what is known as far from equilibrium states. These states accelerate the removal of the limitations imposed upon the system. On this light, disorder can be seen as nature's way of obtaining success. We have identified 7 human senses, and rumor has it that NASA has identified 22 total human senses. We do know that each sense can do each of the other 7 senses. Chi. 1. Body systems matrix, sight and sound. 2. Belief integration, energy and touch. 3. Addictive systems, smell and taste. The body system matrix is the way our bodies work. Our senses, conscious, subconscious, metaprograms, organs, systems is the body's systems matrix. Knowing ourselves is literally knowing our body's functions and processes, ways we are as individuals. Just knowing these functions and processes aids us in change. Nervous system, visual. respiratory system, auditory, circulatory system, tactile, muscle and skeleton systems, energetic, intuition, reproductive system, olfactory, digestive system, gustatory. Questioning process in the order of beginning with the primary question of the sense represented by body system, then doing that side of the body map first, then crossing over. Models, processes, beliefs are made from the body system matrix. These are the basics of each person's reality. Shifting a belief shifts our reality. These models, processes, beliefs can be identified through body language and linguistically by the words we use to put our sentences together. These models, processes, beliefs can result in our problem areas. Problems are a direct result of either being stuck in these specific areas, processes, models, beliefs, violating the functions of the communication process, and eventually just causing the very problem we are consciously aware of, but not knowing the internal processes causing the problems. So we get into denial, refusal, and repression. Eventually, the body will be imprinted with this very process. Model, belief in the stuck, denied state. You have decided to not listen to the body's feedback, and you learned ways of not listening to the feedback. As human beings, it is more natural for us to identify what we don't want than it is to identify what we do want. People who cannot visualize in their mind's eye can't see the consequences of their own behaviors. Controlling the breath in different areas of the body has different effect on the subconscious. Breathing in the high part of the chest causes the sense of sight to activate. This is creating visualizations. Breathing in the middle of the body causes the sense of sound to activate. Breathing in the lower part of the body causes touch and intuition to activate. When the body's feedback is denied, repressed, rejected, the body does not heal itself. The problem, whether physical, mental, or emotional, stays chronic. Withdrawal from drugs or alcohol is a good example of this process. When the body cramps, vomits, or diarrhea, it's the body's process of getting the toxins out of the body's systems. When other medications are given to stop the body's process towards wholeness again, the problem remains in the chronic stage. In order to attain a state of wholeness or health, the individual, family, society must go through the acute state to get to health and wholeness. Once in the health or wholeness state again, natural anomalies appear, and once again we go through another acute state to deal with the chronic anomaly state to return to the health and wholeness. Repeat, repeat, repeat. There is no cure for life's problems, whether individual or global. There is, however, natural processes built into each human individual for growing because of life's problems, whether they belong to us as individuals or to the world. Natural body functions, internal processes, and models for overcoming and growing. Addictive systems. Systems that are closed to natural forms of feedback become addictive systems. This is when one or more of the systems have plummeted on other parts of the system not being completed. Addictions, whether drugs, alcohol, negative thoughts, feelings, behaviors, have timelines they can't disassociate from. In order to change the addiction, they must be disassociated from the timeline events and/or emotions controlling the addictions. Being able to watch time is through time, seeing time from the past to the future. Watching through time assists in evaluating consequences, cause, and effects. Through time, people are evaluative individuals. People stuck in time can't get out of pain, problems. These individuals stuck in time get involved in drugs or alcohol or other addictive thoughts, behaviors that are self-limiting from growth and change. All things done within our bodies is for a positive intent. Disease, discomfort, emotion, behavior, thought, all things the subconscious controls is for a wholeness state for the individual. Changing to a state of wholeness does not stop an individual from being able to experience or do the negative thing. It allows for the individual to choose to do the negative thing or to choose to not do the negative thing. In order to choose to not do anything, there must be a positive thing to choose to do. Choice is the ultimate purpose, not control. Each body system is intended to be an open system and part of the whole system, wholeness, which is the whole system, totality. When all systems are open and corresponding together, we have the whole system, identity. When any system is closed in any area another body system is plummeted into by the closed system. This is the body system's attempt to get wholeness back. When it plummets into another system, identity is lost. Our inner enemy is ourself plummeting us to open our system up. This then becomes the addicted process, closed system. When it plummets to the corresponding body system as illustrated on the body map. The closed system can also be identified with linguistics, by the words used to describe the problem you or another individual has. Words corresponding with any of the sensory systems, their processes, models, and functions will identify the closed body system. As this process pertains for the sensory firing orders, there is a specific pattern to go through the three processes or steps of all of the whole systems explained in these pages. The first three senses fired are steps 1, 2, and 3 in the step and firing order. The last three steps of the change process is the foundation for the open system process. In fact, the third sense fired is where the system becomes a closed system if the third sense fired isn't stopped from continuing with the success process. Sense 3's process has to stop or die in order for sense 4 firing to begin the new process. The third sense fired is the crossover sense, the bifurcation point where the central nervous system crosses from one side of the body to the opposite side through the sensory firing order on a subconscious basis. This is considered to be the point of fulfilling the pattern for achievement and success. This is the very cause for most closed systems, not being open to natural change itself and the continuous growth we are created to have and be. If the third sense fired is the sense of smell, then the individual strategies must stop, literally, for the next sense to fire. Strategies are the main function of the sense of smell. Strategies are an adaptation or complex of adaptations, such as behavior, metabolism, or processes, that serves or appears to serve an important function in achieving evolutionary success.